Hello everybody, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Siegfried Schott. I'm product manager here at CA Experts and responsible for the Universal Plant Viewer. So today's topic is Universal Plant Viewer version 6, and I will shortly guide you through all the main changes for this version. As always, this session will be recorded and we will provide you the link to the recording in a separate email after the session. At any time during the webinar, feel free to use the chat panel to ask any questions, and I will try to answer those at the end of the session, and at least I will answer them via email. So let's have a look at the agenda. So first I will show you the 4D system for Oracle Primavera P6. I will talk a little bit about speed and memory improvements, and then we directly go into a live demo of version 6 with an optimized UI and the new files tree. I will show you how to embed drawings inside the 3D view. I will show you the new photo overlay feature. I will talk about the gridline support. Then I will show you how to use P&IDs that come from third-party systems as a PDF. I will show you the new texture feature, show you how to make laser scans intelligent very quickly, and then the last topic we are talking about is the browser-based viewing. Okay, so let's just start and go into the Oracle Primavera integration. Okay. And I just switch over to the 4D system for Oracle Primavera. And what it does here is we directly integrated Universal Plant Viewer into Oracle Primavera. So what you see here on top is our 4D system, and what you see here on the bottom is a look directly into the Primavera tasks and database. And we already assigned let me switch that over here. We already assigned the objects to the different tasks inside Primavera. And if I now go to the beginning, you see that the whole model disappears, and now I can go step by step through the timeline and see how the model was built. So that's the first task, and everything colored in blue shows you the actual things that are worked on. So next step will be the floors and so on. So I can go and see that the stairs now, and if I click on the play button, you see that the whole plant was built over the time. Okay, that shows you that we directly can integrate the 3D model with UPV with Primavera, and therefore visualize the timeline on top of your model. Okay, so that's for the Primavera integration, and now let's go to the viewer. So Universal Plant Viewer, I just start the new version. While it starts, we spend a lot of time again to improve memory and speed handling. And while I start the demo plant, so with the new review and PDMS adapter and the new version of Universal Plant Viewer, again, we reduced the memory needed to hold the model and speeded things up. So we constantly put effort in this, and I think it was worth the effort we put in. Okay, so now the model opens up. So here's our demo model, and okay, so the first thing to mention is here on the left side, the menu was shorter than it was in the 5 version, and that is because we were very often told that while it was nice that UPV has more and more functionality, the menu bar starts to be too crowded. So we decided to streamline that a little bit up. And the first thing is we regrouped it also a little bit. So here on top, the two buttons now refer to all of the viewing functionalities, which you hopefully were already aware of. The second button now is the clipping mode. And while before it was two buttons, now it's only one button. So there is no more modifier button. And the reason is if I start clipping, the button changes to be the modifier button. So it's only one button needed instead of two before with the same functionality. Here I can open up the modifier and change my clipping like I wanted it to be. And now to get rid of the clipping, just press that new deactivate clipping button and you get the whole model back. Okay, so the next group here is everything that refers to the currently selected objects. So there is a fit button, which was in before. The next button is a toggle button for the selected objects. That's new and it's very useful if you have multiple objects selected. Just with one click, you can hide those objects or bring them back. So very useful also along with the search functionality. So for example, let me search for every pipeline that ends on 100. So search works like before, click on pipeline. And here are all my pipelines that end on 100. And again, with one click, I can make them disappear, another click, and they show again. The next button is also new. That's a filter button. So let's assume you want to see all pipelines from the MS system. So I type in MS star in the search, click on all the pipelines, and now they are selected. And with the filter button, I can immediately hide all the rest and only now those objects are left. So very cool function to just isolate all the objects that you've currently selected. And if you click again on the filter button, it brings everything back. Okay, so the next you should already know. One exception, the color button. Let me colorize the model by the fluid system. And previously, if you want to get rid of those colors, you had to select the whole model and remove it. Now the new color dialog, we reorganized it a little bit. It just has one button to reset all colors in the model at once. We also reorganized the custom colors a little bit because too often we were asked why we have 6 different shades of white. It's not the case. So the custom colors are just, you can pick any color from the model, assign it to a custom color, and then you can reuse that color for colorizing of different other objects. So that's the custom colors toolbar for. Okay, so here on top, we just use a slightly smaller font, so to make the breadcrumb bar even more useful. And now it automatically scrolls to the right if I select something. So you always see the object selected here on the right side. Okay, so the most important thing is you might ask, okay, we kicked a lot of buttons out, but where did those buttons go? And they go to the right panel here. So the right panel now does not only show attributes, it also shows a files tab. So it's a tabbed bar now, and here let me close those things. And this groups all of the functionality of UPV, all of the different files in one place. So if I click on the model, I can open my own folder. And here, for example, for that valve, I add a comment. And if I click that drop-down box, you see all the different objects we can have in UniversalPlantViewer. Let me first select a comment, and I do a revise, and that's now the comment for this valve, and maybe also a comment for that valve. Remove here, and while those comments are grouped, the nice thing is with the folder you can show and hide them at once by simply clicking on the folder or individually. So everything is possible here. Okay, so that means now with folders you can group all things that belong together in one place. So for example, here I've had one issue with a valve, and I can show this in 3D with a markup. So that's the wrong valve. I can also show this in the P&ID, and you see everything is grouped. So, and as here it tells me see spec, so I can also open up the spec and see the comment on top of the spec. So that's new to version 6. You can also do markups on top of any document that's included into UPV. And once you've done this, you can save it, and everything was saved inside one single file. But you have the chance to deselect everything and only select one specific part of your documents tree and choose to only select save this, and I name it my issue, and everything goes into one single file, and later on you can send that file via email to somebody else, and he will just receive everything that belongs to this topic in a single file. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is integration of general arrangement drawings or other drawings into UPV, and I've already prepared this. So what you have to do is, on your top of your drawing, you have to select at least 3 points, and you select the same points in the 3D view. And this is how the result will look like. You see the drawing integrated into your 3D view. So let me open up the editor for this. And here you see the 3 points I selected on the drawing, and you see the same 3 points I selected in the 3D view. Additionally, I told the system it's parallel to the XY plane. And I also limited the area that was used for that overlay. And that's the result. And now with the control key, I can even move the drawing up and down to do some comparisons. And that's a really cool tool to compare the model against any drawing or existing drawing that you have. And it's simply any PDF will do. So it doesn't have to be from the source system you are using. Any PDF will do. So let me show you this. That's a drawing that goes over the whole plant, and even this you can easily integrate, or you can have other drawings of individual sections of the plant. Okay, so again, with one button you can switch them all off. The next thing I'm going to show you is using photos from the site to just visualize what's currently as built. So let's assume that's our heating room. You want to add new piping on top of here. So, but you are unsure if you can use that space or not. So you can just take a photo of that situation, and then I simply select that photo. Let me select the picture. And the same way as before, I can just map that photo to the 3D model. So that's a photo of my room, and this is how it looks like. So I just add 4 points. So 1, and I select the same point on top of the picture. So let's do that one. 2. This one, I use that corner. For photos, you need 4 points. Oh, no, that's not correct here. And that is this point. And let's start the mapping. And now there's some mask in the background, and it calculates how the photo overlays. And you see it overlays quite well. Now with that slider, I can move. If it fits, I accept this. And now inside the model, I can really switch between. So if I shift here, you see the photo was really overlaid on top of your 3D model. And with the slider, you can drive the transparency. And now you see you cannot occupy that space because it's already occupied in your plant. The big advantage is here, you don't need any laser scans or a lot of time. Just call the site, tell somebody, hey, send me a photo. Guy can take a photo with, let's say, a smartphone, send it back to the office, and in the office immediately, like you saw what I did, you can overlay the photo on top of your plant. And you can also have additional photos. And once they're overlaid, you can save it so you don't have to remap those photos again, and you can see your plant from different angles. So very cool feature, which saves you a lot of time. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is very simple. With the new review adapter, it's now possible, if you have any grid lines inside your model, they are automatically captured and they are brought on the grid line aspect. If I select it here, now you see that the grid lines are now visible inside your model. So also here there are grid lines visible, and if you select them, you also see the hierarchy where they belong to. So it's just included with the latest version of the review adapter. If your review model includes grid lines, they were now taken, also captured and brought into the model. Okay, so what I wanted to show you now is, our Intellipit already worked with smart pits. Now we can take any PDF file, and let me show you this here. This is a PDF file of P&ID, and it's not intelligent. It's just a simple P&ID. And what we can do is we can analyze this, take the graphics, and also search for texts. And those texts can be mapped into a 3D model. So let me show you this. Therefore, I open a model where I mapped that PDF P&ID to our demo plant. So let's start that up. And once we did that mapping, I can simply go in. Let's fit here, select one valve here. And you see, if I click on that valve, it automatically found an Intellipit. If I click on it, it goes to the text that it found on the PDF file. And you see, if I click on an equipment, it doesn't recognize it because it's simply graphic, but it recognizes the text on the equipment, and it also recognizes that it's the equipment type. This we can decode on the format of the text. And because we have all the graphic also in, if I go to my Files tab again, I can start to use the usual functions like pit sketch. And if I open up my pit sketch, now I can really connect to the pipelines from the PDF file and can start drawing a pit sketch. I can place a valve on top here. I can go to the catalog and let's say with an ejector pump in an existing pipeline, I can just insert this. So I can really, on top of a PDF, I can start doing modifications to an P&ID. And again, the basis for this is a simple PDF file, and it can come from any system like Comos, AutoCAD. Any native system that is able to generate a PDF file can be used for this. Okay, so that's for the PDF. And the next thing I'm going to show you, you might have already recognized it during the 4D system for Oracle, that the model was nicely textured. And that's the next enhancement is we can now import with the laser scan, adapt the textured objects into UniversalPlantViewer and make the model, let's say, simply nicer looking. Or if you have any drone scans or things with textures on it, now we are able to import this into UniversalPlantViewer. And if it's our separated objects, they will behave exactly same like native objects. You can hide them. You can go to the color dialog, colorize them, make them transparent. So everything works with textures. Textures are already available via the API. So if you are using the API, now you will be able to really bring in, let's say, signs and objects. And for sure, in future, we will enhance that functionality to also give you the possibility to texturize existing objects. Okay, so let's go back to our demo model and show you some more things for the laser scan. Just go inside that building and you already know our laser scan. So previously we were able to show the true views from the scan. We enhanced that possibility to really use the full resolution true views that come from the scan, which makes the true views much nicer than it was before. Let me just show the panoramic positions. And now you really can jump to the next true view and you get the full resolution. Okay, so remember with true views, by using true views, you can only go to those positions where the scanner was during the scanning session. So all the red spheres are possible positions. But with our textured mesh model, so if I unlock the camera, it doesn't look as nice as the true views, but with our textured model, you can go to any position. So you can use both methods mixed in one model. You can use the high resolution true views or the textured model if you need to go to any positions and have a look from any angle on your model. Okay, so one thing we can also do with our model is like previously. So let me hide the panoramic views again. Okay, so you know already we can convert objects to or make them intelligent. So we can hide them by just placing a sketch box on top and giving that sketch box a name, reprocessing the model. So if your intention for usage of the laser scan model is only to, let's say, get or use it for navigation and see how it looks, we now have an additional feature to make laser scans intelligent, and that is our point of interest. So just click on point of interest, click on the object you want to mark, and let's say that's a pressure transmitter. So you can give it the name PT100. And now you can search for that object. So if I move away, I can just search for PT100. And here you see one element was found, the PT100, and I can navigate to that object. So very quick method to make your laser scan intelligent in a way that you can navigate to specific object just by placing a point of interest. Okay, so now we go to the last thing for today, and that's our new browser-based version. So before or till now, UniversalPlantViewer you could use as a portable exe. So a lot of people do not know that in some companies there is a restriction on using portable apps. So we already have an installable version of the viewer. The viewer is also available for iOS or Android, and the latest development, let me close that model, is the portable exe. Before we go here, let's just have a look on how it works. So you will have a web server where every device can connect to, just a simple web page. And we decided to do a server-based rendering, which means that the model itself was rendered on a separate server and provided to the client devices. The big advantage is it doesn't matter what client device you have, even if it's a not so powerful device. The only capability it must have is to display a video stream, because the real rendering work was done on the servers here on the right. And let me go to a browser. You can access the models via, let's say, our folder browser. So the folder browser is available on our homepage, and you can set it up the way then if you click on a model, it directly opens up in the web browser the model. Here for that sample, I will use my local web server, because I wanted to show you that we support also login systems. And we support the OpenID Connect protocol, so nearly every login system can be used along with UniversalPlantViewer. So I will log in with my test account. Hopefully it works. Log in. Okay, and now I'm logged into the system, and if I decide to stream the full plant, now you see the same model as before, but now streamed from a web server. So really that model now is coming from a web server, and it's fully inside that browser view. So no local installation is needed, and the software exactly works like the local installed version. So I can colorize objects, I can query the attributes, also the P&ID is included and can be used, and everything runs inside the web browser. So no local installation. And also on top of this, there is an API available, so you can fully integrate UniversalPlantViewer into your web page or your web software. Okay, so we're nearly end of the time. Let's see if there are some questions. So let me read it. There's one question if MS Project can also be used with UniversalPlantViewer. Yes, we also have an MS Project integration. Here it's directly integrated into the MS Project. There will be a separate toolbar. Oh, there's one question how the linking was done in the 4D system. So with our 4D system, while we are able to link part by part, nobody wants to do this. So we can have rules in the background for intelligent linking, and we can also import already existing information. So that really depends on the client requirements. So give us a call and let's talk about this. We already have experience with bringing in different data into the Oracle Primavera system. One question about what browsers support the web streaming. So we tested this with Chrome, Firefox, New Edge. Internet Explorer does not work. Sorry for that. It's too old. And we tested it with Safari. So one of our clients already was testing an on-site 5G network with the browser, and it works fine. So, okay, so time is over. The rest of the questions I will answer via email. Thank you for listening, and hopefully I see you next time.